Good morning, welcome to Something Saturday. So I'm hoping it looks like we're in focus. This is good. I thought today I would show you how to make this really beautiful star decoration thing that I happened to see on something the other day, probably YouTube I would say, and I went, oh, that looks really cool. It was done fairly fast, so I thought I'll break it down for you guys so you can have a go at it yourself. And here we go. I will take a seat and, oh golly, this is very dirty. I'm very sorry. Okay, so what you need is 16 pieces of this. So I've got 8 here because I've already done something with the other 8. And you need it to be 15 centimeters long by 1 centimeter wide. Okay, and as you can see, I've used the designer series paper to do this one. So you see a little bit of the pattern inside. You see mainly the pattern on the outside. And this one's quite beautiful with the gold writing on the outside. And then it's just got a plainer piece inside. Then what you are going to do once you have all your pieces cut, so put 8 of them to one side, and then you're going to make 8 in one go to make one side and then the 8 for the other side. Okay, so what I have done is I'm going to put a little bit more glue, maybe onto here. So onto my glue mat, very important. And I have a skewer because I have discovered that the skewer is possibly the easiest way of adding my glue onto these. So I'm just going to use that just to, multi-purpose skewer, just to give it a little bit of a kink in the middle. And you're going to fold it so that it's a fairly smallish gap there. It needs to be around about 4 centimeters on this length and 4 centimeters this way. Doesn't matter if it's not exact, doesn't have to be exact, but it's just a good sort of rule of thumb. And then you're going to add a little bit of glue underneath that and squidge it together, and you need to hold it in place until that glue has set. So this could be a process of me doing all this and speeding up the video slightly. Oh, I seem to be very gluey there now. Okay, so that is what you're aiming for. So it's about 4 centimeters wide. It's about 4 centimeters deep on this piece here. Obviously the other side, if you've managed to get it sort of levelish, then they're going to match up, which would be good. And then you're going to do that with all 8 of them, potentially all 16 of them, but do them in sections and then you won't get overwhelmed with it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and make these up and potentially either speed up the video or just, oops, that's probably not going to work if I do it like that. That's there we go. The advantage as well of using Tombow is that you've got that little bit of wiggle room before it actually sticks down, whereas if you're using hot glue gun or one of the other glues that's more of a stick and stay glue, then you're going to run into a little bit more difficulty with it. So yeah, I shall go on to silent mode. Right, so got all 8 of these done now. So the next thing to do is we're going to stick them sort of round like this. So they're sort of head to head, as it were. So a little bit more glue on there and stick those 2 together. And we wait because we are waiting for the glue to set. which of course Tombow doesn't set particularly fast, but as I said earlier, it's probably the better glue to use because it does give you the chance to move it very slightly if you need to. So again, I'm just going to do this on silent mode and speed it up a little bit. So all of a sudden I'll be working really, really fast. So now once you've got all 8 of them in a row like that, you just need to attach the last 2 together as well. All right, so that's what you'll have now. And the next thing to do is to attach these pieces together. Now what you want to do is have this point going over all the way to that point there, so that you end up with it like that. It will make it curve. And the first time I did this, I didn't realize that it needed to curve quite as much as it does. But I think it'll look a lot better this time I'm making it. So just, I'll say, make it curve inwards like that. And bear in mind that you don't need to actually put glue on this section here. It's more sort of over a little bit more. So I'll show you again, just it's kind of going in, the glue is going on that section there because that's where it's going to attach around. So what I'll do is I will continue on with this and again speed the video up so you don't have to watch me painstakingly do every single one of them. Oops. So you now end up with this that is almost bowl shaped, which is kind of cool. Oh, and apparently they are coming apart at the seams slightly. Let's just pinch those 2 back together again. Okay, so the next thing to do is to trim off these excess pieces, and it might be easier to trim them this way. Oh, and then turn it over, do the same on this side. Yikes. Oops. All right, no, this way, Heather. Oh my goodness. I'm getting all glued up here. Oh, that was, oh no, it's not the last one. I'm now seem to be working my way in the wrong direction. There we go. So at that point, you should have a whole heap of little pointy bits like that. So hopefully you can see that. Let me just check that we're half decent on this video. It's looking good. And then enter the other side. Woohoo! Here's one I created earlier, just like Blue Peter. Let's get rid of those pieces there. I have no use for those. They are going in the bin. And so then you should have two pieces like this. And now we get the opportunity to stick them together. So you stick 7 of them together and you throw your stick on the floor because that's the way we roll. Oh, hopefully my head wasn't in that shot. Do recommend you do them individually rather than gluing them all up and then doing them, because the glue may have dried by the time you get to the final ones. Oh, plus the fact you kind of stick to them on the way round. Did I just glue that one? I think I did. So work your way to the last one. The last one, leave open, because you need to find something with which to hang it with. And it kind of looks nicer if you have sandwiched it in between rather than, oh, this one's very puffy. I think maybe it's a little too puffy, but never mind. We have gone from not very puffy to, wah! Kind of looks like it went into the, whatever it is that makes it puffy, the toaster or something. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and find some of this. I'm probably going to cut the video for a little bit while I find something. So I have found my Baker's Twine Essentials pack, and I think this colour will go nicely with this. So I'm going to go with this one. It does have 5 different colours in it, this one. Cool thing is, so, well, no, I don't know whether it's cool, but initially it comes just as a tube like that. But if you get your scissors into it and just give a few cuts around the edge, then you've actually got something with which to tuck that away. And then it's not going to unravel when you put it back into there, because that kind of irritates me when something starts unraveling, and then of course you've got to put it all back onto the roll, and yeah, and now I've lost the bit that I've left open. There it is, found it. Oh, what a relief. So there we go. I'm just going to add a bit of glue into there and stick that down onto it. So I'll hold that in place for a moment, and I'm pretty sure I'll stick to it well. No, good, excellent. Then I'm going to add a wee bit more glue on top of that. And you have to hold your tongue in the right place. And then pop that down onto there. And it just makes it so much neater having it hanging like that, than rather than having, you know, the whole thing hanging around this part or this part, and then you've ended up with a tie in the rope, and twine even. Probably don't want to use rope for it. Maybe that would be a little excessive, But there you go. So it's kind of cool. I think they're quite pretty. If you have a go at it, let me know and show me what you do. And I'm just going to pop the instructions again up on my blog, just in case anyone wants to sort of like look at it in person, as it were, if that makes sense, in written mode, maybe, I don't know, whatever it's called. Anyway, hopefully you've enjoyed this and found it interesting, and now you're going to go and make heaps of pretty star things. Oh, and obviously that still hasn't managed to stick properly. Might have to go back over that one and add a wee bit more glue just into there and hold it together for a little bit longer. So yes, come and join me next week. Don't forget, share the love if you've enjoyed this, and I'll see you then. Thanks, bye.